Zimbabwe as a country has moved to South Africa. From Gugulethu to Khayelitsha, there's Zimbabwe there.
Amid a worsening quality of life in South Africa, has emerged a growing number of anti-migrant groups lamenting porous borders and migration challenges in South Africa. The issue of migration in a country battling a number of socioeconomic challenges took centre stage at the ANC's 55th National Conference held at Nasrec in December 2022. A migration policy framework was tabled, which would later be adopted and begin a path towards the overhaul of immigration legislation in the country.
South Africans, they think that those that are feeling the pinch and encouraged by this kind of organization that are fending xenophobia, they think we should be making our laws more restrictive. But there are people that have been part of us here over decades and generations. They feel that some of these laws that we'll bring here, they're going to be problematic. We are not working alone. We are working with the United Human Rights Council on these particular issues, even those that are dealing with refugees, so that in the office of the SG, whatever laws that we do, they still meet our international convention in terms of the protocols we've signed.
Government sought to implement measures aimed at ensuring a regularized system for all visa holders. The measure that took center stage and sparked much debate was the exemption permits, specifically the Zimbabwean exemption permit. While the government announced that the permit would come to an end, Zimbabwean holders had a different idea.
All the Zimbabweans, including me, number one, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay.
With the greatest kindness, we are not telling government how to do this. We are asking the South African government to help us with permits because we are here to work, not to stay here for life. We have homes. Everybody sitting in this bus to Bulawayo have their own homes. Some are in town, some are in reserves. We love our home. So when we are here, we want to work in accordance with the law. Those who break the law, government must deal with them.
The resistance became official when two organizations launched a legal challenge against the Home Affairs Minister's decision to terminate the ZEP. The Helen Suzman Foundation launched a review, while the Zimbabwe Immigration Federation sought an interim interdict to halt the minister's plans. A move the Home Affairs Minister is still challenging in the courts.
When we wake up, there is this court action where a lot of propaganda is being run around us as if we are evil, when actually what we are doing are within the laws of the country,
Minister,
the laws passed by Parliament.
The organizations were successful in their legal bids, which effectively halted the termination of the ZEP. Meanwhile, it was Mam with the Lesotho exemption permit holders who showed little to no resistance to the expected termination of this permit in December 2023. Despite the absence of court action from Lesotho nationals, the holders still prayed for an extension.
I am worried. It helps us a lot. It allows me to live in South Africa freely.
I do believe that they will renew it. I have faith that they will be merciful towards us and renew it like they did in the past.
A temporary reprieve has followed as the minister has since granted exemptions to both Lesotho and Zimbabwe permit holders for 2 years, subject to them reapplying for the document. This is in light of the litigation still in the courts. In the midst of these interventions, the Home Affairs Minister suffered back-to-back challenges and some losses on immigration matters placed before South Africa's courts. Just recently, the Constitutional Court slapped the minister and his Director General with personal cost orders over their conduct in an immigration rights matter before the Apex Court.
Personal cost orders against public officials who flout their constitutional obligations serve to vindicate the Constitution and hold such officials to account. The minister is ultimately accountable for the full fulfillment of his department's objectives and for the actions or failures of his officials, and he is responsible for the executive powers and functions assigned to them.
Meanwhile, government has declared war on the country's porous borders. The Border Management Authority was officially launched in Messina, Limpopo in October. It will see a single authority of the country's ports of entry.
The BMA was established in response to a number of serious challenges. One of these challenges is the increase in the number of undocumented foreign nationals entering our country. This has exacerbated many of our country's social and economic problems.
And in another bid to tackle migration, the White Paper on Citizenship, Immigration and Refugee Protection, which has taken 4 years to draft, is now undergoing a process of public consultation.